The wild rover for many a year, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer.
The fact that it's in print, it's sitting here at the table, he's writing in it, I think that's a dream come true. So, without further ado, Michael Malone.
That is a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best.
Just talk less.
Okay, as Kieran said, and thank you again, Kieran.
Hey, quiet down, everyone back there.
Thank you to Peter Kavanaugh for having us. Thanks for everybody for coming out here. As was said, the novel is called No Never, No More. It's set on Avenue A in 1999, and if you were here at the time, you'll recall a city that was drunk on this crazy concept called .com, and you had neighborhoods like this besieged by these well-scrubbed, fresh-faced .com type people. And the book's main character is a young man named Declan Coulter, and he's a product of a broken home on Avenue A that has very little to do with this .com thing. He's a lowly editor at what is the third most popular wine magazine in the country, out of 3. But his true writerly passion is a novel in the really, really early stages, really not past the acknowledgments page that precedes the book, called The Apathy and the Ecstasy. So he's got the title and he's got the acknowledgments, nothing really beyond that, but he's working on it. And he has had some success with a series of children's books called Honey Bunny. And he, back when he could still get drugs in this neighborhood, he would score on Avenue A and east of A and write in the tradition of Lewis Carroll and other great children's book authors, this Honey Bunny series, Under the Influence. And Declan plays on a rugby team called the Village Vipers. They don't win very often, but as a kid from a broken home, his rugby teammates, this band of brothers from all over the world, have essentially become his family, for better or for worse. And the one really good thing in this kid's life is his new girlfriend, Haley, who comes from this other world called the West Village. And I'm going to read 2 really short excerpts. And this first one follows Declan meeting Haley's parents for the first time, which reveals, among other things, Haley's real name. So thank you again for coming. "Take your shoes off," Haley says from the kitchen as I approach her black leather couch. The significance of the shoe removal command is not lost on me. I've never been invited to take them off at Haley's before. I have a flash of anxiety as I consider the state of my socks. There was little forethought as I dressed this morning. I examine them and they appear okay. Haley's got a classic village walk-up on a block with lots of trees. It's how I picture Paris. She's got exposed brick on one wall and a fireplace that doesn't work, but just sits there like an open mouth that can't speak. Her hardwood floors are shiny, with a white throw rug in the middle. There's a dark wood coffee table in the living room. On it is a book entitled The Girl's Guide to Hunting and Fishing. I had no idea she was such an outdoors person. A purple candle makes flickering shapes on the wall. She's put on trippy jazz that's either Miles Davis or John Coltrane. I have no idea which, because I don't like jazz. Haley comes back from the kitchen with 2 glasses of red wine. "I got you a gift," she says. "Come on. Something small," she says. "What for?" "No reason." Haley opens the drawer of the end table and pulls out what can only be a CD wrapped in shiny silver paper. "Thank you, Hale." "Open it." I do, and I see Keanu Reeves in a football uniform kissing a girl. It's a soundtrack for a movie called The Replacements. "It's that band you like, from Minneapolis, the song about St. Mark's Place." "Right," I say, turning it over. There's a song by Young MC and a bunch of other hip-hop acts I never heard of. "Thanks," I say, leaning over to kiss her. "You're very kind." "No problem. Maybe you can burn it for me." "Sure," I say. "Meadow?" Haley recoils. "Do not call me that." "No Meadow?" "Afraid not." "My new Honey Bunny book takes place in what I've titled The Enchanted Meadow," I say. "Coincidence, huh?" "I'm surprised you didn't make a joke about the daughter on The Sopranos," says Haley. "And why is that?" "Her name is Meadow?" "I don't have HBO," I say. "I must say, though, I'm surprised. I mean, your parents just don't seem like the type to name a kid Meadow. What's your sister's name?" "Forrest?" Haley sips her wine, which sends a flush of color throughout her pleasantly pale face. There's a pause. I prod her with a nod. "Brooke," she mumbles. "Come on." I'm serious, Declan. I wish I was kidding. Brooke. Yep, and she's still a Brooke. At least I had the good sense to run around like a lunatic and get a nickname. Brooke and Meadow, I say. That just blows my mind. I know, it's fucked up. Haley never curses. The swear sticks out like spilled Pinot Noir on her white rug. Like I said, I just don't see your parents as the hippie types. They're not. I sense a story coming on. I'd rather not, says Haley. Maybe when I know you better. There's a flirty tone to her protestations, so I lean over and kiss her. I met your parents. You really want to know? Yep, I say. It's really stupid. Go on, I say. I'll tell you something stupid about me. Haley takes a healthy slug of wine and begins the story. When my parents were first married, they had no money. They had this crappy little apartment out in Long Island. Sorry, on Long Island. My dad always corrects me. It was my grandmother's house, and they rented out the basement. The ceiling was about 6 feet high, and my dad's, a big guy. My dad was working in the city, she continues, as a runner on Wall Street. A runner. Lowest life form in the business, she says. You literally run around and place orders for brokers. He was doing that and going to law school, and my mom was teaching. Dad would get home late, and Mom had to get up early, so they didn't have much time for each other. But almost every night when it was warm, they'd drive down to Jones Beach. Back then, they didn't have any kind of security there, and you could just sort of walk onto the beach. They'd throw a blanket down and... Screw? I interrupt. I'm an idiot. No, laughs Haley. Well, maybe. I never thought about it. Obviously, it was the first thing I thought about. Once they had me, they never really got much of a chance to go back. And after my dad started moving up and making, more money, they bought a place in the city. He became a big attorney, and that was the end of their quiet nights of watching the waves. Nice, I say, and it does sound nice. But wait, it's not over. It can't be over. Something's missing. What about the names? Oh, says Haley, I almost forgot. They used to take the Meadowbrook Parkway to the beach, and those nights were such special memories for them. So I got Meadow, and Brooke got Brooke. Haley smiles nervously, making eye contact for a second before looking down. You should get a toll-free ride every time you're on the Meadowbrook, I suggest lamely. Haley laughs anyway. It's free for everyone, she says. Well, you should get your own lane or something. I'm not on the Meadowbrook very often. Maybe we can take a ride out there when it gets warmer, I say, unsure how I suddenly seem to have access to an automobile. That sounds wonderful, says Haley, putting her glass on the table and resting her head against my chest. I can smell the ocean in her hair. Miles or Coltrane is wailing away as Haley turns up for a kiss, and I like jazz for the first time in my life. He's still wailing when we get to our feet a bit later. I don't think Haley's going to call me on sharing something stupid about my life, and I'm grateful for it. It would be hard to pare down my list. I shake life into my sleepy limbs and head. This all seems to be happening in a dizzying, surreal fashion. Haley leads me by the hand toward her bedroom, like a tow truck pulling a car with a blown engine on the Meadowbrook. All right, I got one more. And this scene follows our humble protagonist, Declan. He takes a shot to the head in a rugby match, and it introduces even more confusion into a guy that's got a bit of confusion in his life to begin with. I'm down in the Randall's Island dust, a ring of vaguely familiar faces surrounding the sun. Dr. Demento has given me the 5th degree, all sorts of stupid questions about my name and my girl's name and the day and the month and other bullshit. He plays flanker on our team, and he works in the ER out in the ass end of Brooklyn, in a neighborhood without a name. Pardon me, says a polite English voice. I look up. It's the ref, who looks like John Cleese, only squashed down about a foot. Are you all right, lad? Yes, sir. I remember to call the ref sir, like you're supposed to do in rugby. Well, I hate to treat you like a piece of meat, he continues, but we've got to get you off the pitch. Can you get up? We'll get him up, says Demento. Goose and Ghetto Ron each grab under my arms, and Demento supervises the whole affair. He's still shaking his head because I can't think of my girlfriend's goddamn name or what month we're in. Slowly they lift me up, and the world around me spins wildly. Someone brings over a beach chair. The boys ease me into it. Dr. Demento hangs over me. All right, Coulter, what month we in? Jesus, here we go again. The correct response sits on the tip of my tongue, ready to come out, then slams it into reverse. It swirls around in a vortex of month names, a jumble of Uaries and Embers and the rest of the months, before sliding down a black hole. Whoosh. July, I say with authority, as if my confidence will convince them a wrong answer is correct. Dr. Demento shakes his head. Damn, I mutter to myself. You're going to the hospital, he says. Soon as the game's over, we got Bayonne Barbarians' asses to kick first. I nod, then sit back and watch the game. The big dude, our captain with the sideburns, hauls the ball into the teeth of the other team's defense and sets a ruck. The enemy pack swarms him, knocks him down, and someone gets him with a boot in the ribs. You always want to get a good shot at the other team's captain when he's down, like gunning for the opposing general in a war, maybe put him out of the game. Who the hell are we playing? Tracy, you got room for Coulter? Says Dr. Demento as he walks me over to Tracy's truck, guiding me from behind by the shoulders. He's got to go to St. Vincent's. No problem, man, says Tracy. He's from Jamaica, the island, not the crappy section of Queens. His real name eludes me at the moment, but he looks just like Tracy Chapman, short little dreads and all. How you feeling, Declan, he says. I'm fine, man. I do feel fine. Why is everyone treating me like their batty great-grandmother? My girl can sit in the back, Tracy says. You ought to sit up front. No, I'm fine back here, I say, nodding to where the boys are piling into the back of Tracy's pickup. Let your girl sit up front. All right, Coulter. Here, wear this. He tosses me a scrum cap, those flimsy padded head things some guys wear because they think it will prevent their brains from being scrambled at the bottom of a ruck. I take off my Outback hat and put the padded cap on. Protect you from the bumps, he says. Shady Brady helps me into the pickup bed and invites me to use him as a cushion for our ride into Manhattan. He went to Oxford, or maybe it was Cambridge, and now he tends bar on Avenue A. I would have hoped for a beefier buffer zone. Shady's about 160 pounds, or 11 stone, in his words. But Shady is kind to offer himself. I lean back onto Shady, like how Tisa used to lean back onto me on the concrete whale at the Village View playground. Comfortable, Decky, he says in that fancy BBC accent. Yeah, I'm fine. What happened? You took a shot to the melon. We'll take you to St. Vincent's just to be safe, but I think you're okay. I check my head for bruises and cuts. It feels fine. Where's Haley? I ask, turning to face him. My missus says she was going up to Vermont for the weekend. What is she doing there? No idea. The things you American lot do in Vermont, I reckon. Something to do with syrup? Shady shoves a can of Bud in front of my face from behind, pouring it in my mouth. Maybe this will help you remember shit. Are we still together? I ask as I wipe spilled beer off my chin. Far as I know, mate. My missus says it's going good between you and her. Well, that's good news. Or is it? How good, I ask. Like, engaged? Good? Shady hesitates like he's thinking about fucking with me. We head toward the Triborough Bridge, up the labyrinth of ramps. Not that good, mate, he says with a laugh. I see the blight of industrial Harlem across the river. Where are we going, I ask. You, my good man, are going to the hospital. We are going to the pub. What happened? You got your bell rung, Coulter. Damn. I must look like I need a pick-me-up. Ireland beat England, Shady adds. No shit, I say. Ireland never beats England in rugby. Right as rain, mate, 20-14, just this morning, in Dublin. Fucking A, I say. So how did we do? Shady is silent for a moment. Bloody brilliant match, he says. They were up by a try with about 5 minutes to play. One of their guys took a swing at Flyboy and knocked him out. Just knocked him out cold. The mother of all cheap shots. All sorts of aggro after that. We damn well sorted the ponce out. Ghetto Ron got him with the boots, and Gabby grabbed hold of the guy's facial orifices like a bowling ball. We marched down the pitch, must have been 10 or 12 phases, quick rucks, clean ball out to the backs. I follow excitedly. Did we actually win? But Goose knocked it on. The try was on. He just dropped it. We lost again. It was a memorable match, says Shady Brady. The boys played their balls off. Bayonne will be feeling it tomorrow. I wish I could remember any of this. Flyboy got knocked out. Ghetto Ron sorted their thug out. Goose coughed it up on the goal line. I wonder if Goose's chick was there to watch it. We call her Mother Goose. We passed the giant sign for the History Channel in the South Bronx, which promotes a show about the Underground Railroad. Where's Haley, I ask. Shady shakes his head and pours more beer down my gullet. We exit the FDR Drive and traffic is crawling down 2nd Avenue. But like a kid awaiting confession, I'm in no hurry to go to the hospital. Maybe if it takes long enough, my memory comes back and I won't have to go. I sit back and see the sun going down over the Empire State Building on a cloudless blue Saturday. I see the United Nations to the left. The back of the truck's a fucking UN summit. A Kiwi, a Brit, an Aussie, an RG, a Welshie, and a Mick Yank from Avenue A, passing beers around in a flask, singing, trading barbs with guys in cars next to us at lights, trying to flirt with the ladies. It seems like an hour has passed by the time we get to the village. Our Tracy Chapman at the wheel certainly wasn't the one who sang that fast car song. Instead of letting us out in front of McLennan's, Tracy stops at St. Vincent's. I look around, but no one seems in need of medical attention. "Your stop, mate," says Shady Brady. "Huh? Into the ER, pal. I'll go with you. Get off me." "Huh? The knock to the head." Shady illustrates the point by knocking on his head. "Oh, right. The head." Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our own Michael J. Malone. Books are for sale, even for those of you that were not here for the book signing event. Books are for sale. It's a fantastic book. I've read it 2.5 times. Well, 2.25 times. It's a great book. They're for sale for $10. That's with an autograph. If you don't want an autograph, it's $100. So let's drink.
No, never, no more.